Hello everyone, this is a new video from GraphQL Microlearning course. Today we will dive deeper into resolvers creation. We will look through resolver chain, list all resolver arguments, and go through common issues such as top-heavy resolver and n+1 problem. As usually, I will copy the folder from the previous lesson, rename it to resolvers, and install all necessary dependencies. While dependencies are installing, let's refresh in mind the schema for hero's request and the fields inside. Each query goes through three phases. They are parsed, validated, and executed. Query is parsed into abstract syntax tree AST. Here you can see an example for hero query. The tree is validated against the schema and executed with the runtime. The runtime starts from the root of the tree, invokes resolvers, collects a result, and emits JSON. The tree is executed breadth first, meaning that parent, hero for example, should be resolved before its children, ID, name, etc. If hero resolver is async, then hero branch delays until it resolves. Once all leaf nodes are resolved, the execution is complete. Sibling leaves like name and biography are executed in parallel in no particular order. Typically, they are executed in the order they appear in the query, but it's not safe to assume that. Because the fields are executed in parallel, they should be atomic, idempotent, and side effect free. Now let's go back coding and start the server. I will modify response file to model a situation that superhero's biography should be retrieved by a separate request. I extract biography type from the main response and make it standalone. Then I delete biography object from response and create a separate array for it. Each biography is related to a hero by its ID. Now I'm doing the same thing for Catwoman, extracting biography object and copying the ID. Like this. And finally, I create getBiographyById method to be able to retrieve the biography by hero's ID. Now let's go to resolver file and modify such hero so that it doesn't mention biography object. And the main question now is where to put request for biography. Let's start from doing that in such hero resolver, as here all the IDs are available, and potentially if biography API exposed any batch requests that could find several biographies by array of the IDs, it would be convenient to do it here. Let's switch to Playground and check that everything works correctly after all the changes. But this implementation has a problem that top-level resolver is heavy now, handling all the logic for the downstream branch, and it's overfetching because client-side could potentially not even ask for biography. It's an optional field. The solution to the problem is to create a separate hero biography resolver. It accepts four arguments: parent, arguments, context, and info. Parent contains the object that was resolved as a leaf parent in AST3, so now we can reference to hero ID as parent ID and make separate biography request for this ID. And finally, clean up top-level resolver from additional logic. Now let's return to Playground and check that everything still works as previously. Yes, it's okay. And now if client is not asking for biography, then it won't be fetched. Now the solution is easy to maintain, readable and testable. Each resolver is atomic, but we still have a problem that is called n+1 problem. If there are too many heroes, and even worse if there are duplicates among them, then it will be too many requests that potentially can cause performance degradation both from GraphQL side and the server that is fetched. We will handle this problem with data loaders and Apollo data sources in the next videos. Stay tuned!